and they're not letting me come live. It's not working on screencasting. I've got tried to come here live twice. Not coming live. Okay. Surah 2, Ayat 193 continued the Quran ayat fight the disbelievers until religion is for Allah. So, in order for this ayat not to be contradictory to Surah 2 ayat, Surah 9 ayat 29, right? We need to, wait a minute. So, just let's see, voice coming, sound coming, or not? Okay, it hasn't started. Which one is it? Yeah, this one. It started. It hasn't started. Which one is it? Now I'm going to try and come on the screencasting on this. So the deception of Prophet Muhammad and Ahlul Bayt, I'm going to show you, what heights evil can take, right? I'm going to show you this from, okay, taking my live stream, going on my previous live stream. Okay, so what should I do? Highlight saved. Start a highlight. So, trying to tap on this. Why isn't it working? My previous. So look at the heights. I just don't want to lose that Muslim guy's comment on my previous. Okay. So this is about Surah 2 ayat 193. You understand that this means that fighting the disbelievers, right? Let me just check if the sound is coming also. Sorry, they're giving me a hard time here, the Muslims. Shias. Sorry, they're giving me a hard. Okay. So, Surah 2, Ayat 193 says, I have to read it out again, which means that disbelievers should not remain, right? Disbelievers now should not remain. God wants to wipe them out. Surah Anfal ayat 7, right? God wants to wipe them out, wipe the roots out, wipe the disbelievers out. No, the very root of the disbelievers. So this means the disbelievers should not remain. And I was even talking about makram al-akhlaq, makaram al-akhlaq, right? So the heights the Ahlul Bayt took after Prophet Muhammad, the evil, deceptive heights, to show, my point being, to show that the means remain, from Surah 9, I 29, Dhimmis remain, Christians, Jews remain practicing their religion in an Islamic state. And they'll be protected. But that's not the case, right? Then Surah 9, Ayat 1, 2, 3 would be like fight those who are adjacent to you, right? Would be contradictory. So one Muslim blog, a website, tried their best to correct their even classic English translators of the Quran ayats, and change they've haven't gotten this right. Change the meaning of yalunakum now. He tried to writhing and recoiling. This means the disbelievers were attacking the believers at that time. Surah Tawbah, it comes in the last moments of Prophet Muhammad's life, revealed to Prophet Muhammad, right? So this Muslim man, he could, Muslim website couldn't uh, reconcile that how come these English translators have written it like this. It just means to fight those near, and what the Muslim mind can near you. So Quran doesn't take the stance of aggression against disbelievers. If they haven't been aggressive towards you or don't fight you, then don't fight them. Disregarding all the other ayats like Surah, giving Surah 2 ayat 190, but disregarding Surah 2 ayat 193. Just the ayat, you know, the ayat after it, after the other, after Surah, like Surah 2 ayat 191, Surah 2 ayat 192, two ayats after it, it is a continuation. Now, still fight them, meaning fight them, and to finish fitna, right? So some Muslims' minds, like they're like, oh, they were very bad. They were doing this fitna, not from the wide connotation fitna has and all this, right? So the wide connotation of fitna, but some, Dr. Ghali gives a temptation. These disbelievers, if they remain, if you don't fight them and make them Muslim believers, then they will remain a temptation for the believers to become disbelievers. These disbelievers are a fitna like that, only being disbelievers. This was not taken into consideration by this website. Also on Surah 9 ayat 1 to 3, la, la unicum word. Got it? So this, and oh, the whole world could be against me now. So no contradiction in these Quran ayats, right? So I explained everything, and before also in the ayats, in the live streams that had come properly, and the live stream that went properly didn't have problems. So what heights, like if you would wonder now, like how could Ahlul Bayt take such heights, right, of deception? But a lying person and his progeny following him in lies can take the heights of deception. Like they were told that in Karbala, the atrocities after even reached its heights, right, against humanity. It was like reached its heights. So this way, a man who is a liar reaches heights and like show you using Allah also, right? Using Allah to show you, like a Quran ayats are being revealed to him, exploiting Allah, right? Like in that Surah 7, ayat 33, those who don't, it's haram, it's forbidden, prohibited to um, say about Allah what you don't know. So how come these other religions saying about Allah that they don't know, or their God, or Jesus Christ, or but doing such great works like Mother Teresa? I was like shocked when I was a Shia, right? So my religion at that time was Shia Islam, and Surah 7, ayat 33 says it's haram to say about Allah what you do not know. And I had to find the true religion then. Like so many religions also, like how could they say about Allah what they don't know? They don't know. This is a great tragedy, human tragedy, right? Or what? So religious tragedy. So Now I've written, so no so I explained everything, and you can watch my, you know. Moreover, my previous live stream that doesn't have a, somehow the voice is gone. They've tried to erase the voice sound. It's not there. My sound is not there. So, so a man who can lie like this, exploiting Allah, using religion, so no so I worked out myself that now taking Surah 2 ayat 193 properly, there's no contradiction between Surah 2 ayat 193, which really means becoming a fight until the disbelievers become Muslim believers, and then going to Surah 9 ayat 29 also doesn't contradict, right? This that fight the disbelievers until they become, there's aggression against the disbelievers by the believers until they become believers. So how could the dhimmis remain, like paying jizya? Christians, Jews, Sabians, Magi's remain, right? Which this ayat says, like, just fight them until they pay the jizya. So it was for the temporary, like, so bringing the ayat of abrogation that Allah has put, right? Bringing that ayat, Allah abrogated Surah 9 ayat 29. But how come not only the Sunnis, but the Shias and their Imams, Prophet Muhammad, progeny of the Imams, going and saying, oh, there were dhimmis, and we even accepted, Imam Ali even treated the Zoroastrians, although Zoroastrians were never Magi's, right? They had a prophet, one God, and this a prophet thing. Magi's didn't have a prophet or something like this, as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken. So they treated the Imam Ali also, after Prophet Muhammad, treated the Zoroastrians as the, as Surah Hajj ayat 17 says, Magi's all are safe and good, and protected, and they're exempted from military service, and they just have to pay this jizya, because they don't have to, they're exempt from zakat also in an Islamic state, the Jews, Christians, Sabians, and Magi's, right? Exempted. And they remain. How can they remain when there are other ayats that no disbelievers should remain now, right? So then, abrogation of Surah 2, Surah 9, ayat 29 should happen. Although it's the last surah revealed to Prophet Muhammad in the last times of his life, right? Surah Tawbah. Um, it has this, Surah 9, ayat 29. Maybe they took the jizya from these dhimmis, made them dhimmis for a little while, and then this ayat was abrogated. Because if you go to Surah 9, ayat 1 to 3, you find out, oh, you have believed, fight against those who are adjacent to you of the disbelievers. And a Muslim website has taken trouble to even say that these classic ones, translators of this yalunakum word, you know, adjacent to you or living near to you, how can just proximity for proximity you fight them, right? So he's took the trouble to show you, the website that's taken the trouble to show you that the real meaning of Yalunacum is uh, writhing, recoiling, twisting, and they were attacking. From there, he's put attack. Or you have believed, fight against those who attack you of the disbelievers, who are attacking you of the disbelievers. Uh, so my thing was, no, that's not correct. We should take Surah 3 at 118. Yalunakum, yeah, lunakum, and mean fight those who you have spared, the ones who are in jizya, the ones who are in Surah 9, 29, the ones who are paying jizya. Now, so temporarily fight them, right, who are paying the jizya. It was jizya, temporary jizya given to the Muslims at this time. Got it? So then it makes sense, right? Then all the, still, it makes sense temporarily, but then disbelievers should not remain disbelievers. Islam doesn't allow that. Quran doesn't allow that. Quran ayats show otherwise. And since there is abrogation by God in Surah 2, ayat 106, he says, we do not abrogate a verse, ayat, or cause it to be. This says ayat is a verse. It's not actually a verse. Ayat means signs of Allah, sign of Allah. So ayats, or cause it to be forgotten, except that we bring forth better than it or similar to it. Can you imagine Allah abrogating, canceling his ayats or his signs, making you forget them? But this is nice. The 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 Muslim believing mind is such that it can bring good things about it, make excuses and whatnot. But when a disbeliever, when a ex-Muslim makes a mistake, that's not good. That's not good. You will be, too much on that exaggeration, liars, mad person, this that, and even harm to save your religion, and go as far as taking their lives, right? So then I reached this, right? So no contradiction in these ayats in question Surah 2 ayat 193 and Surah 9 ayat 29, right? Coming in the which was coming in the way of Surah 2 ayat to understand Surah 2 ayat 193 properly. That no, you should fight the disbelievers even if they're not fighting you. You take the aggressive stance against them, right? Then why the dhimmis remain? So this was coming in the way. This will be abrogated soon as it started. In the life of Prophet Muhammad, you see, Prophet Muhammad, he was such a devil. So a liar in such heights. He even used an Abrahamic religion as he went traveling with Abu Talib. He used to go in his childhood, right? So he must have learned a lot about Jews elsewhere also in Syria, like the Abu Sufyan's caravan coming from Syria. Abu Sufyan used to go to Syria. So Prophet Muhammad going to Syria, and all this in his childhood with his uncle Abu Talib, who was the father of Ali, and his father had died long time ago before his birth, Abdullah, and his mother was alive, but she also died, left him at what age I don't remember, but she was quite small, right? At what age? He was a child, you know or an infant. Anyways, then he was being taken care of by Halima, the mother, what you call it, foster mother, and Abu Talib, his uncles, and his grandfather also. Before that, before Abu Talib, Abu Muttalib, Abdul Muttalib. Okay, so now, now, have you ever wondered after this, have you now wondered, like, how can this person take such heights like we have from Sa'ifa Sajjadiyya Psalms of Imam Zain al-Abidin, who was in Karbala, survived all that, and the aftermath and the atrocities taking place, what Yazid's army did against them, and the women folk that the Imam Hussein took to Karbala, and his child, 3-year-old Sakina, Ruqayya, the Arabs say Ruqayya bint Hussein, the Pakistani scholar Sakina. But that's her title, right? We call her the Pakistani scholar by her title. Peace, sukun. It's like peace, tranquility. Anyhow, so how could they do all this, right? Coming, these great works coming, like, have you seen this Arabic dua by and Imam Zain al-Abidin in Karbala and aftermath? He accompanied the women and children from Karbala to Kufa to Sham. They were captives there 2 years, for 2 years in Sham, Damascus, Yazid's Damascus, right? They were captives there, held for 2 years. Then they were sent back to Medina. So how could this man write such a great in Arabic? If you see, and Imam Ali, his Psalms and about character, and improving one's character, manners in Makkah, Remal, Akhlaq, dua, supplications. See his Psalms, Imam Zainul Abidin's, like the Psalms of David. It's better than the Psalms of David in Arabic style and all this. How could they produce such high level, this, right? Such duas, not poetry, like duas in this level, this high level, after having survived so much trauma and all this atrocities committed by. So the atrocities committed by them, now I see that they could go to such heights. Satan could reach such heights. A devil could reach such heights, right? So seeing what level of deception, evil deception, the Prophet himself using Al Bayt and his progeny wanting to do this, cover up the aggressive ayats in the Quran. Moreover, that affects the Sunnis also, and some Sunnis don't take it as an aggressive Quran against disbelievers. And but not only the Prophet using Al Bayt, but they're also going on doing this. So what heights they can cover, to what heights they can go to cover the Prophet, because the Prophet may have needed money, this false prophet, and to what heights they must have gone to cover up now the grandfather. Hussein saying, "My grandfather, this is not my grandfather's religion in Karbala." What you have made of it, you hypocrites, right? Yazid's army and Yazid, the Umayyad Muslims. This is not my father's religion. To look like what heights they could, and put themselves in perils. Perilous is the path, Hafiz. To, to what troubles and killing their children, like Ono Muhammad going, Bibi Zainab's two sons going at what age? Like 9 and 10, right? To cover their grandfather's ill deception, evil deception, and also to defend Islam, saying that it's not a religion, aggressive religion, it's not a evil religion, it's a true religion, it's a religion of peace. So, what their grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, did, right, was take money, also, like, exploit Allah, exploit this Abrahamic religion, or even the Abrahamic religion is not true. I don't believe in any Abrahamic religion, or, like that, any religion. But he has gone to heights, putting his children to such, grandchildren, sorry, and his daughter Fatima. So for he gave Fatima five, the one five. So even like amassing wealth, right, in his time until he was alive, at the jizya, because now before the jizya ayat is 28 of Surah 9. Don't worry, Allah tells the Muslims now that, because the polities were very high in economy and all this. The economy was very good. So don't worry about poverty now, since these nijis polities, Allah has called them, and now they can't enter, go to the Masjid al Haram and all. So take the jizya. And then this would must have been abrogated. Ali took the stance of saying, no, no, it wasn't abrogated, or no, no, nothing like this. There's no question of abrogation. Demis went on, the Magi's, moreover, the Sabians, the Christians, all are Ahl Kitab, Jews also. And they have remained, if they want to remain in an Islamic state, then they have to remain as Demis, protected by the Islamic state, exempt from service, of military service, and not paying the zakah. They don't have to pay the zakah, but pay the jizya. But I caught them because it wasn't making sense coming to Surah 2 ayat, or Surah 9 ayat 1, 2, 3 also, right? Fight those who are near to you, Tried to search a Shia translator of this ayat, but couldn't. Also, that. So if you're wondering, how could the Ahlul Bayt do this? Why not? Devils reach great heights. And I saw what heights the devils have reached. Ahlul Bayt of Prophet Muhammad, or the Al Muhammad, the progeny of Prophet Muhammad. Right? This is what I saw. Although it must have been temporary jizya, but they made it seem like after Prophet Muhammad's death, no one would know about this. No one even care. Who cared to do such research? It's only me, unfortunately, as a ex-Muslim, ex-Shia here, to expose these the devil's heights the Alim Muhammad went. Because if it's Ahlul Bayt, then it's the Prophet's wives too, but I wouldn't put the Prophet's wife, including the Prophet's wives. Right now, just Prophet and his progeny, what heights they took, and what things they produced in writing duas, supplications. This also, I saw that the devils can do. And that night, when I saw and realized this after doing this live stream on these ayahs mentioned here, I had like evil, closing my eyes, I saw black things here, black entities, monsters or something, attached to me, left and right, front and, front. So I was like, who shall I call now? Like, I don't use the Hindu mantras, Buddhist, Buddha, call Buddha, or just remain still and take it. I was freaking out. Like, what heights these Ali Muhammad, the Imams also have taken to cover up what their grandfather started, Prophet Muhammad, using religion, exploiting Allah, and becoming a prophet, and taking money, spoils of war, amassing wealth through spoils of war, attacking caravans full of goods of Quraysh pagans, taking money. Surah Ashur, I think, has right? Mentions about 5. Like the Yathrib Jews are saying, okay, we remain peaceful, and they gave him 5 in as 5, right? A kind of a peaceful treaty or something. Why would they give him their land, uh, Fadak, as 5, you know? And also purification and for security, Surah 9, ayat 103, that is, take alms out of their wealth for them and pray for them. To Prophet Muhammad addressed, take alms out of their wealth for them and pray for them. Surely your prayer is a source of security for them, and all this. And jizya temporarily, I would say, but the Al Muhammad also, Imams did not spare any to say that it's not temporary. That's why Muslims have not understood their ayats properly. The Quran ayats, what Allah meant to say. Maybe they even killed the true. Maybe this was another prophet who these ayats were being revealed to, and terrible prophet did that one also. I don't know what they've done really, but what I now can see is that uh, he, no, what on what point? Like like what Allah means, they have even covered that. What Allah means in the ayats, right? What Allah really is, what the ayats mean. They have tried to cover that up. The Quran ayat. So only if Surah 9 ayat 29 is abrogated, then we understand, right? That we understand Surah 2 ayat 193 and the other ayats which say, Surah 8 ayat 7, Allah says, eliminate the disbelievers. by his words. But then we see a fight, a battle of Badr starting. So now use the swords and all this, right? Later ayats of Surah 8, after Surah 8, ayat 7. In the end, Allah says to eliminate, finish the disbelievers or cut off the roots of the disbelievers, not of disbelief. So this means no disbeliever should remain. So they have to become believers, otherwise they will be gone cases, gone completely, killed, right? Taken lives uh, by the believers. How they did it to even cover up jizya, Surah 9, ayat 29. Amazing. Even the Ali Muhammad doing this. No one has exposed this, seen this. I discovered it against my own, as Imam Zain al Abidin also, right? It's Sahifa, Sajadiya, the Psalms, like the Psalms of David. Sahifa means Psalms. And now this is not the Psalms of David, this is the Psalms of Sajjad. Imam Zain al Abidin, Ali ibn al Hussein, who was in Karbala. And then aftermath, then he became the Imam after Imam Hussein was martyred, the Shia say, right? In Karbala. So, writing such high, supplications of such great work, literature, it should come in there, some literature work, really, I tell you. After what he went through, and with patience and sabr and thanking God, praising God. So, do you realize what heights an evil man and his evil progeny can take? So, here are the ayats they have revealed to me, exposed to me. Surah 9, ayat 29 should be abrogated for Surah 9, ayat 1 to 3 also to be understood properly. Do not spare them and take that word which is used in, not change it in written form also, which is yalunakum, the way it is written and the way it is the meaning of that in Surah 3, ayat 118. Right? For Surah 9, ayat 1 to 3, yalunakum. So, what is it? O you who have believed, fight against those whom you have spared of the disbelievers. These ones, in the ones who are in Surah 9, ayat 29, same Surah, ayat 29. This was how long they remained dhimmis, paying the jizya, until the Muslims were finishing or asking the polytheists also to leave or become believers, or you will be gone cases. So let them find in you harshness and know that Allah is with the righteous. So these ayats reveal to me this. Oh, Surah 9, this ayat also, Surah 9, ayat 1, 2, 3, that Surah 9, ayat 29 has to be abrogated. This is another very, very helpful ayat because it's in the same surah. To help me see that ayat, what Allah wanted is Surah 9, ayat 29 to be abrogated. And no disbeliever should remain. You see? So continuing this evil, this evil. So this is what Allah wanted. So how can the Imams and even this evil progeny say of Prophet Muhammad? See, they've changed they were covering up what Prophet Muhammad had done, the evil initiated. And, at that time, and then they're making it better. Like, oh, we accepted and this, and he got all the money and enjoyed his life, maybe, or didn't enjoy his life. He couldn't enjoy his life. He died a death of a very painful death. He was, and in fact, it was should have been more. But anyways, should have been more painful for many days. He deserves it, what he did to the Jews, to the polytheists, to the Christians. But you know, but for Christians, I don't know. Like Waraka was a Christian monk or something, right? I learned that from David Wood, Waraka, and then Wikipedia. Maybe I read a little. Maybe it says somewhere in Wikipedia gives it that he was a Christian, a cousin of Khadija, the wife of the first wife of Prophet Muhammad, although older to him. And this is why Muslims say, why would he go after? He wasn't after physically after these young girls and virgins. So there's a reason why he married Aisha and all this, and not for her being young and a virgin and a pedophile and all, right? Because his first marriage was to a 40-year-old woman, Khadija bint Khuwailid, when he was younger than her, much younger than her. He was like 20, 21 years old, I think. So this. Oh, so I have revealed. And if you're wondering, oh, you don't know what heights evil can take. So, and against God, since Allah Himself, like, has revealed in Surah 7, ayat 33, it's forbidden to say anything about Allah that you do not know. So my religion, I felt, gave a direct verse on this, and how can I? How can I say anything about Allah? How can anyone, any religious person, and how come they've remained Christians, Jews, and all this, saying about Allah what they do not know, loving Jesus Christ and this, and doing great work for Jesus Christ, and yet in the name of God, for their religion, for Jesus Christ, the Son of God and God Himself, right? Ooh. So, but how could they do this? How could they do this? I kept thinking, shocked, deeply shocked inside of me. And this, but it's because my religion, my Quran ayat, Allah has given a direct Quran ayat, right? On that. How can you say about Allah, it is forbidden? Now, Surah 33, ayat, no, Surah 7, ayat 33, sorry. Very tired now. I've tried so many times. One whole live stream of mine is silent. The voice didn't come. I have to recheck if the sound is coming or not. Oh, I do. Say, my Lord has only forbidden immorality. And that you say about Allah that which you do not know. Forbidden. Forbidden is it is. That you say about Allah that which you do not know. Right? Surah 7, ayat 33. Now let me check if the sound is still coming. This and doing great work for Jesus Christ, yet in the name of God for their religion. And such great works that Imam Ali has written a letter, a sermon, a piece in Najul Balagha in Arabic without dots. Can you imagine? Without dots, writing a whole sermon or a letter without dots. So such great works produced by Imam Ali too. So if you're ever wondering what heights evil can go to, now don't wonder, right? हैरान क्यों हो ये वो आल है कर सकती है so just copying a little bit of the Noah Shia Noah ये वो उम्मत है जो कुरान भी जला देती है उस्मान बिन अफन right ये हैरान हूँ कि करबला में what they did to the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. This is a nation that even burns the Quran. So खैमों को जलाया है. So the tents of the ladies, women folk of Prophet Muhammad, for Jalaya, put on fire, ignited. Are you wondering why? This is the nation. These are the hypocrites, you see, meaning hypocrite Muslims. So I've exposed it, and don't wonder, because what heights the evil can take, what heights, to what extent they can go. They can say, to try to defend the, my Prophet Muhammad was not like this. The Imams are saying Prophet Muhammad was like this and that, and I caught them here. They're even going against the Quran ayahs and contradicting it, right? Going against Allah. Sunnis also, like Sunnis were through their, you know, so not only the Shias, but the Sunnis also, but I'm more concentrated on this Shia thing, right? Can you believe it? Can you then blame these Sunnis and the religious scholars and who came from Yazid and all this, believing in Muawiyah as the Amir al-Mu'mineen? You can't blame them. What hides this evil progeny of Prophet Muhammad has have reached, cover up his terrible, terrible deeds, cruel deeds in his lifetime, amassing wealth, misusing, exploiting religion, Abrahamic religion, all the Abrahamic. And, but, and what heights he took. He even gave his children, like, to die. Honor Muhammad, Bibi Zainab, why are they going? We were told even for males to participate in a holy war, Islamic war, they have to be 15 years old. Then I wondered, like when Khomeini came and all this, I wondered then, Bibi Zainab's a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. How did Imam Hussein allow them to fight in Karbala in the battle? Good. So, giving their children, like Quran ayat says, these polytheists or disbelievers, they kill their children without reason. Now, killing your children with a reason is allowed, right? Then that means. And moreover, his children and his progeny are covering him up, and they want, what do they want? Like, I don't know, but the evil, like we are the Imams. It's a big responsibility to be an Imam. And they were not stopping to cover up his evil deeds, what he's done against the Jews of Yathrib and around the Bedouins around on the outskirts of Yathrib, and what he's done against Christian or whoever, like the polytheists, and amassing wealth. And then Fadak, Prophet Muhammad's daughter, saying, Abu Bakr did the wrong thing after my father's death, Prophet Muhammad's death. I have inherited it. My father gave it to me. And see what was Fadak and how it was given as a peace gift to Prophet Muhammad, right? What was Fadak? So how they took and messed up Yathrib, made it Medina, messed up the Jews. What was Fadak? Fatima's Fadak. Fadak was a fertile land, an oasis with date palm trees located near Medina in the Hijaz region. Also, the Hijazis, they've killed Jews in Hijaz and whatnot, Prophet Muhammad must have done. It was a source of revenues, but specifically for the Banu Hashim, but and was gifted to the Banu Hashim, the Prophet's family, and was gifted to Lady Fatima by Muhammad, but who initially Hijaz. Initially, the Jews gave, they're not Jews, gave Fadak as five, and then Prophet Muhammad took it. Of course, they gave it to Prophet Muhammad, and then Prophet Muhammad took it and gave it to his daughter Fatima. Fadak was a fertile oasis near Khaybar, acquired by Prophet Muhammad after the Battle of Khaybar through a peaceful treaty with its Jews inhabitants. It was considered fai, booty gained without fighting, and belonged to Muhammad. According to Islamic law and Quran verse, it's in Surah Hashar, ayat 6, right? 59. Surah 59, ayat 6. So sorry, as I'm not able to now because YouTube has not allowed me to come on screencasting. So many times it failed, and my previous live stream has been totally like which worked, and I came here silent, no sound. So I had to do it like this. YouTube is not allowing me. Maybe even has made me a shadow. Oh, Jesus Christ, the sun. Oh, it's not playing. So really, these Shias are so very dangerous. It's not playing. Okay, it's playing now. On my other device, I've come to check if sound is still working, everything. Now I have to leave. I will come back afterwards and see if it works even. How many tries? And I'm really exhausted. Thank you for your time and attention so much.